Oh, you want us to speak? Okay.
What's up?
We can do that. We can talk about what if.
We were like waiting patiently because we're like, it's the countdown and we want it to happen. We don't want to mess it up. So we're going to be quiet and serious.
Yeah. Serious performer face.
Papa, can you hear me?
Do you want to build a snowman? Sorry.
It doesn't have to be a snowman.
Okay.
Okay, bye. Yeah, I'm still getting this. Nothing yet.
Oh, look. I see us on the Norwescon Twitch screen. That is a tiny
the front door.
Oh, that's so adorable.
Oh my god, look, it's us. We're humans.
Oh, it does.
Yay. I should probably put the phone down.
Troy, I think it's significantly too late to not get too excited.
I hear sounds.
That ship has sailed, my friend.
Dylan is watching the stream, so I assume that sounds are there.
There's no stream on Twitch, or no sound on Twitch.
There's still no sound on Twitch?
Yeah. Our end?
Well, no, I can hear it.
But no, Dylan has it in the other room.
I can hear us. Look, it's a loop.
Talk about it.
Oh, there we go.
Yay, people! Hi, people!
Okay, hello. Hi, we are professionals. We know what we're doing.
Yeah, sure, that. Hi.
Really? We're going to go for that whole self-aggrandizement thing here? Right? I see how. Okay,
we definitely
go
feel
for
like
the gold. Keep going.
Tears have gone into it if that's what the bleeding edge is. It's you, Troy.
They can hear everyone on Twitch except Troy.
You're saying this like it's a bad thing.
So it turns out that on Twitch, Troy is not only a disembodied voice, he's a disinvoiced voice, which may sound like there is no Troy, but the rest of us can assure the Twitch viewers that Troy is real. He is not our Canadian girlfriend. He's actually out there.
He does exist.
And
my Canadian girlfriend would take offense at that, FYI.
I can see the overlays. Hi, folks. So either you're sitting here going, wow, why are they starting so early? Or you're sitting here going, wow, why are they starting so late? And the answer either way is, we're not going to say. So welcome to ThursdAGE. This is a special Norwescon edition. I'm the lead developer for Fantasy Age for Green Ronin, Owen Casey Stevens. We have some very special guests with us today. I am going to start with Veronica Templar, the special events director. Hi, Veronica.
Hello, everybody.
Then we have Bella LeBlanc, the streaming director. Hello.
Hello.
And then Violet DeVille, the right-hand trollop. And just for the record, that's what we were told to put there. That's us either self-chosen or chosen before we came along label. But
I mean, you're not wrong, not at all. But I work for Veronica.
Well, fair enough. I have also had Veronica be in charge of stuff I'm doing, so I understand how that works, and she's quite good at it. So at least in theory, this is our Norwescon special event. So we are Norwesconning. Obviously, we are not physically gathering all in one place for, health and safety and sanity reasons, but that doesn't mean we can't have a good time.
And just
go
to be
ahead.
clear, Norwescon is different from retconning.
Yes, Norwescon is different from retconning. Basically, when you're Norwesconning, you go back into the continuity of the story, and everything happens in the Norwest.
That's right. Completely accurate.
Absolutely.
Accurate.
And if people want to know more about Norwescon, especially if they're all excited about it for, say, next year, since there's already stuff going on right now and they might see this later, but if they're excited for it, here on April 1st too, and yes, I know, April 1st, and I'm making announcements, couldn't be helped. Where should people go to learn more about Norwescon?
They should go to norwescon.org.
So,
yes,
great. So, what's up, folks?
So, we this year are having an all virtual convention, which is great. I mean, we wish we could be in person, but as obviously everyone knows, that's not a safe thing to do these right now. So, we are using an online platform called AirMeet, which is new to all of us, but we've been testing it for the last couple months. It's originally was designed to be like a professional conference platform. We're using it in different ways than was intended, but it's pretty great. So we are not having quite as much content as usual, but we're still having over 250 hours of programming over the next 4 days. So this is really the first thing that we're kicking it off with, hanging out and talking with y'all. But there will be things going all day today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Events, panels, games, meetups, all that kind of stuff, and we can talk about that a little more. But I'm going to turn it over to my right hand Trollop and let her do some talking about some things she works on.
So my official title is I am the special events second in charge of production, which is how we get to right hand Trollop. But in any case, I'm in charge of helping putting together all of the stuff, such as the burlesque show, the improv show. I help wrangle the concerts. We have fantastic people underneath me who does that. Work in the masquerade, the single pattern contest, the prop makers contest. That's going to be so cool. That's one of my favorite things to go watch. We got a lot of cool stuff happening this year. And being the fact that we are in uncharted waters this year, thank you, COVID. No, thank you. No love. We're trying out lots of weird things. I gave everyone working for me in special events the order to do something new, try something weird, think outside of the box. Who knows? It might stick.
Mm-hmm. Bella, do you have some stuff you want to talk about?
Sure. Back a couple years ago, the Twitch channel was originally started. It kind of just sat stagnant for a few years, and I've really gotten into since COVID. I am also the director and / I guess producer of the burlesque show that's going to happen with that, and that's how I became affiliated with this convention over 6 years ago now. I can't believe it's 6 years.
Yeah,
I'm actually based out of Maryland. I live all the way on the East Coast, and I fly out because Violet is one of my best friends. Actually, more or less family now. I was like, hey, have we considered maybe Twitch? Because that's where I started going for live entertainment since we're not having it. And that's where I can give my money and things like that, besides donating to obviously performers and stuff like that. And I started seeing that, and I was like, hey, don't we have one of those? Can I play with it? I don't really know what I'm doing, but I want to learn. And I was given the Twitch channel. And then we slowly started building up. And right now was the first time we've gone live practicing and stuff, like improv shows and stuff. But it's myself and my teenage child, they, them pronouns, Violet Andrea, who is also a streamer on Twitch. They are my second. So they are right now doing the OBS capture so I can do this for you. And so, yeah, we can try to obviously get more of an audience outside the Pacific Northwest area, because I mean, that's how they got me on the East Coast. So it's becoming more of a wider variety. So people who don't know about this convention now can see it, experience it. And if they choose during convention to buy a badge or make plans for 2022, it's actually really exciting to see, like, we can get to so many more people now just with the power of the internet and that little purple square. Ta-da!
So, speaking of which, for this year for the online convention, the memberships are $35 for adults and $20 for youth. So if you go to the norwescon.org, you can buy them now, and we'll get you hooked up. We have our help desk and registration teams that can get you into the event very quickly if you buy your registration. The programming starts today in full force at 4 o'clock Pacific time. We will have 10, what they call in Air Meet, they call stages. It's basically kind of what panels, as you can think of it as panels, 10 simultaneous things going for most of the weekend. So that's when that starts kicking off, is at 4 p.m. And one of the first things that we're going to have, which breaks that rule and starts at 3 p.m., is going to be a session of Modern Age run by developer Malcolm Shepard. So yes,
that's exciting.
He wrote a little adventure just for this purpose. So we're excited to see that.
Yeah, Malcolm's great, and obviously, as the Fantasy Age developer, I am all in favor of watching Malcolm use another version of Age and showing people what you can do with it and why it's fun. And assuming I'm up to it, I hope to watch that. But we'll see. I just got my second Moderna shot, so we will see how my day progresses.
I just snowing outside here in Maryland. It is snowing.
Yeah.
Boo hiss.
That's and really, Kate, and really, Owen, that is your fault because you got your second shot. If you hadn't got your second shot, it wouldn't be snowing in Maryland.
My apologies. It was the only way I could schedule it, and as a result, there was a massive surge of Arctic air that hit the East Coast.
So, friends, I want to jump in here and do a quick double check on the voice. Can you hear me, or am I coming across like I'm in a can far away?
So, everyone, let us know if you just heard Troy, and if you heard Troy, where you are. In other words, are you on Twitch?
Oh, just Facebook, drop it in chat. I got you covered.
Yeah, drop it in chat. Okay. And if you hear him, if he sounds normal, so let us know.
I mean, normal.
Normal for Troy.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Normal. Troy normal. Yeah.
We one of the things that happens sometimes on Zoom, for example, that I'll run into is I can hear someone. They sound like they are the robot at the bottom of a well drowning.
Somebody just said to me, "Oh, it's the overpowering voice of Troy," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's right." Facebook got me
Troy's
now.
voice
Thank
is
you,
so
Jonesy.
powerful that the internet can't handle it.
Thank you, Nicole. Good to see everybody. I feel now like perhaps we are we're all set. I got to tell you, friends, given sort of our we can do anything. Like seriously, this team, everybody, from Owen, Violet, Bella, Veronica, myself, we cobbled this thing together in like a hot minute. That was good stuff. I apologize for being a little quiet. It's not my thing.
As we used to say back home, that was a hot Denver minute.
A hot Denver,
36 minutes, 22 seconds.
Yeah, what do they? Like they call it a. No, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say something really foul, but I'm not going to go there because this is. I mean, it's not necessarily a family stream, but I feel like everybody's family. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Jonesy. Fantastic, and yes, Nicole knows me quite well, as normal as Troy gets. Friends, I'm so excited that you're here, and I don't mean to kind of start things over, and I don't want to do that, but people may not know what Norwescon is. I mean, as far as like this powerhouse of an event that you've taken digitally this year to sort of bridge the gap between pre and post vaccination. Veronica, as a special events director, do you want to talk a little bit about just the general sort of what Norwescon is, why it's called Norwescon, and who's going to be like, who's the guest of honor? I mean, there's just a ton of stuff.
Yeah. I can give it an encapsulation, at least. I'll give it a whirl.
You bet.
So Norwescon is called Norwescon because it's in the Northwest. It is a science fiction and fantasy convention. It's entirely volunteer run. It has a literary focus. But is kind of evolved into a bit of a general fandom convention because there's not, it's not just science fiction and fantasy. There's costuming tracks, game tracks, comic, like lifestyle, technology,
A
science,
burlesque.
game. But the origin of it is the literary part. We actually give away a prestigious literary award every year, called the Philip K. Dick Award, and most of you may have heard of this person. He's very famous in science fiction circles. There's a lot of movies that have been made out of his works, like Blade Runner is one of the ones that people know. So we do that award every year. It's always on the Friday, so it'll be tomorrow. And we, a lot of other things that we do. We have a writer's workshop, which you have to sign up in advance for, but it's really robust. We have some good youth programming. We have our masquerade. We have an art show, dances, concerts. There's just so much stuff, and of course, for the people, I've been going to it since the 90s, since I moved out here, because I've always been a nerd and gone to science fiction, nerd type conventions since I was like a little bitty baby.
Yeah.
But there's just so many things, and for a lot of people that go there every year, it's like their nerd prom,
Right.
how it is.
That's right. Yeah.
And even though a lot of industry people live in this area, so even if they're not coming to be pros, people come to socialize and see everybody and network and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of that going on. So let me give you a little overview of our guests of honor.
Perfect.
So our writer guest of honor is Jacqueline Carey. She is a New York Times bestseller, and she's the author of the critically acclaimed and award-winning Shields Legacy series of historical fantasy novels, The Sundering Tragedy Duology, Postmodern Fables, Santa Olivia and Saints Astray, and The Agent of Hell Contemporary Paranormal Trilogy, Shakespearean adaptation Miranda and Caliban, and the epic standalone fantasy Starless. Jacqueline enjoys doing research on a wide variety of arcane topics and has an affinity for travel, has taken her to Iceland and China, and she currently lives in Michigan. So she's very beloved, and a lot of people are just very taken with her, especially her Shields series. It's a very interesting series, which I personally enjoy.
So we lost on Owen, and what we're gonna do? Oh, and here
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Good. Yeah. When you it looked like your camera turned off for just a minute, and it bumped everybody just kind of over a little bit, but we're fine. Everyone's gonna say. They'll catch the correction here in just a moment. But sorry, Veronica, I hate to interrupt you. Continue, please.
Okay, so that's our writer guest of honor.
Nice.
So our artist guest of honor is Sana Takeda. She regrettably can't actually attend. She had a last minute family emergency, but she's still our guest of honor in absentia, and we're using her art, and so you'll see a lot of the the backdrops and any of the a lot of the really pretty art that has our branding on it. That's her art. She's an amazing artist. She
Great stuff. I love it.
Yeah. She's an Eisner and Hugo Award-winning illustrator and comic book artist from Japan, known for her work on the Monstrous series. At age 20, Takeda started working at a 3D CGI designer for the Japanese video game company Sega. Oh. Her comic book career includes works for Image, Aspen, and Boom Studios, among others. She's worked on several titles for Marvel, including X-Men 23, X-Men Venom Civil War 2, and Ms. Marvel. And she lives in Tokyo. So,
well, that is phenomenal.
Yeah. And then this lady, and actually I'm just realizing that all of our guests of honor, or at least I'm piecing it together, all of our guests of honor are women, so that's pretty great.
Yeah.
Our science guest of honor is Dr. Susan Langley. This is a very interesting lady. Dr. Susan Langley is the state underwater archaeologist from Maryland, a dive safety officer and a master scuba diver, trainer through PADI. PADI, I assume it, I don't know what it stands for, but it's an acronym, I'm sure. She received her BA in anthropology from the University of Toronto with a minor in Far Eastern art and architecture, her MA and PhD in archaeology, and a certificate in heritage resource management from the University of Calgary. She teaches undergraduate and graduate courses for several colleges and universities on maritime archaeology and the anthropology of piracy. How cool is that?
Wow, that is awesome.
It's even better. She just has so many cool hobbies. In addition to her maritime archaeology and the history and anthropology of piracy, she is a recognized authority on textiles and beekeeping, both past and present.
That
I
is
mean, what an
amazing.
interesting lady.
That is
Right?
that is an eclectic collection and exactly the kind of person that you want to hang out with, you know, just at the brink of apocalypse, because that gets some stuff done. Like you got the piracy,
know.
you got the bees that'll save the world. I mean, it's so
Right?
good.
So the final guest of honor is our spotlight publisher, which is Tor Books. They're an
Oh,
imprint of
yeah.
Doherty Associates, a New York-based publisher of best-selling and critically acclaimed fiction in all formats. Founded in 1980, Tor publishes what is arguably the largest and most diverse line of award-winning science fiction and fantasy, with its books receiving every major award in the science fiction and fantasy field. It has been named Best Publisher 30 years in a row in the Locus Poll, the largest consumer poll in science fiction. So that's an overview of our guests of honor. Pretty
Wow.
awesome.
That is incredible. And the thing is, I was like, oh, that's so amazing. Wait, there's more. Oh, that's amazing. Wait,
there's
there's
more.
more. That is really incredible, and I think that it speaks well to the kinds of talent that Norwescon attracts. And we've got, this stream, ThursdAGE with Owen Casey Stevens, is it's sort of the developer stream. Everybody kind of comes, and we do this thing where we try to flap Owen, and to date we've been unable to flap him. But I like to think about, like, as far as our influence, we get you got the big people. I mean, like, this is just one of the most amazing opportunities for us to hang out and talk, and I want to be sure that we get some time in for Bella and Violet too, to talk about, burlesque is on the list of things that are going on, and in addition to your contributions and leadership in the Norwescon space, you are also actively providing programming and all of that. And why don't we start with Bella, just because I'm kind of working my way up the screen. Bella, tell us what you do and talk to us about the burlesque part of this, because I love, it's such a great activity to be connected with. I love watching it, and I love the people that are involved. So tell me all about it.
Oh, okay. Well, hi. Obviously, Bella LeBlanc. I've been a burlesque performer for I've lost track of time. I wound up in regards to my connection with Norwescon. So it was about 5 or 6 years ago. Violet posted on one of our burlesque forum boards that she was going to host a show based off of the works of George R.R. Martin, and wanted to name it Burlesque is Coming. So of course I had to go, wait, hold on a minute. I own that. Can't do it. Myself and my former tour partner own the rights to do this. We did a.
Oh, you actually legitimate, like, that you have a copyright or marks for that.
Sort of.
I get it. Claim anyway. We'll say claim.
We already. It's a burlesque rule of thumb. You don't copy.
Sure.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
We point our finger and spur you. So it's. I was like, but we already have a national tour with this name, blah, blah, blah. And then Violet and I connected off of that and kept talking. And she was like, hey, why don't you come do this show I'm doing in Seattle? And I was like, actually, that sounds like a lot of fun. I need to go visit a family member in California right after. Great. So I went out there, and literally I landed on a plane. She throws me backstage and goes, put on something presentable. We're about to have dinner with George R.R. Martin. And I went, oh, no, F-bomb pressure. I didn't do it.
You didn't do it. I'm so proud of you.
Bella,
Right?
that
That's
was well
so
done.
smart.
So
Oh,
you-
good. So I was like, okay, sure. And then we meet him. And then next thing you know, I am taking my clothes off to an orchestrated version of Red Rain, dumping glitter on a tarp on myself, giving birth to a smoke demon, to
Oh.
a man sitting in the front row who wrote this book.
that is
And-
the most. I gotta process this for a moment. I'm sorry. I'm I'm
Writer
painting.
guest of honor that year.
And I also did an act as Cersei Lannister
Oh.
to I Touch Myself by the Divinals with Jaime Lannister's hand.
Okay, I see. Oh dear. I see all of the pieces there. That is it.
Confetti cannons and all. And then after that, I had to hop on a flight immediately and leave because I was on tour. I didn't stay. And then I was invited to come back the next year. And I was like, you know what? This looks like so much fun. I have to come back.
That is
So I-
incredible.
And Violet produced the burlesque shows up until 2020. And then Violet's like, hey, I got a promotion. I want to keep this show running. You know what you're doing. Oh, yeah. And we wound up meeting George and toured and performed at his theater 2 years in a row after. So that was awesome. And then it was, hey, do you want to keep coming back? And then 2020 was, hey, I got a promotion. Do you want to take over for the show? And I was like, yeah, I do. And that's how that happened. And then 2020 happened.
Right.
So 2021, it was, hey, do you still want to do this? And I'm like, well, why not? I'm also going to be doing the Twitch stream too. So I just hand the reins over to the kiddo on Friday night and mommy hosts a show. But so, I mean, yeah. And it's the closest thing I've had to a stage, really. I haven't done any of the online shows that you see. I've just been focusing on my other business and stuff, which that's another story.
We'll give you a
Hashtag
chance
Bell-
towards the end of the stream to kind of dive in and share anything that you'd like folks to know about. But I've got to say, I needed just a moment to process all of the things you've shared. I have got so many tableaus, mental images in my mind, all of them quite powerful. Yes, yeah, exactly. That is amazing. And the transition now to Violet, what the heck? Talk to me about all of this magic you have had a hand in making on this side of things. And I know that we're talking about ThursdAGE, but if we don't discuss this, I'm going to turn into, I don't know what, something.
So why don't we go all the way back to the beginning? My first convention was in 1980.
Oh, yeah.
My dad took me along to a little convention called StarCon back in Denver. It was a Trekkie convention. And I fell in love with going to conventions. And by the time I hit high school, I was running live action role-playing games at conventions, basically creating interactive theater, right, for people to come play and solve mysteries. 1998, I move out here to the area, and we discover Norwescon. And my wife and I were celebrating 23 years this year.
Congratulations.
We volunteered that first Norwescon, and between the two of us, we worked 80 plus hours of volunteer time because apparently we don't know how to say no, and we volunteer again and again. And of course, because we are good volunteers, we get brought into these things.
Sure, yeah. Once you kind of get a taste of that, and then folks get a kind of a sense of who you are, yeah, you get
right.
roped in. You get roped in.
Yeah. Once they smell the blood in the water,
yeah.
You're toast.
Absolutely.
So, and then 2000, it was 2008, I discovered burlesque. I went to the Von Foxy's Bye Bye Bush show. It was right after the 2008 elections.
Yeah.
And it was amazing because the show opens with these three beautiful women. Not what you would consider your average showgirl, right? One was tall and sort of skinny, another was short and kind of round, and then there was one that was the average of the two.
Which I love about burlesque. It is
right.
Yeah, it's that space.
They sat down and they whipped out a can of shaving cream with their backs to the audience.
Oh.
And then they took the shaving cream and they made a big mound of shaving cream in their hands. And then they placed this mound of shaving cream on, well, their mounds.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Next out, whipped a razor.
And you know what? I'm going to pause you because I think I know where we're going with it.
Right? Large, broad strokes. Apparently, they got in trouble at the theater off Jackson because they got shaving cream on the projector screen.
Yeah,
Oops. Yeah. And then they turned around with little American flag pasties and little American flag merkins.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
and
so
I
funny.
was and I made my burlesque debut in 2010, and I have not looked back. I produce shows that are nerdy and weird. I have a show called 6 Degrees of Kevin Shaken.
I'm
which
sorry, pause. My brain needs. I have to stop. Say that one more time. 6 degrees of whose?
6 Degrees of Kevin Shaken.
Kevin Shaken. I love it.
Here's the premise of the show. We have 2 contestants that come up from the audience in 3 rounds. Each round consists of 3 performances where a burlesque performer does an act. And then the contestants have to figure out how that connects back to Kevin Bacon.
I love it. That's
it's a fantastic show. It's a lot of fun. I also did an improv show called Wheel of Teas, which was an evening of improvised burlesque to live music.
I've done that one.
It's a fun show. And this May, I'll be doing my 5th Neil Gaiman tribute show, World's End Burlesque Review. This year it is the Church of the Mind, or the Church of the Nude. Words, why are they hard?
Right.
Church of the Nude, which is entirely burlesque inspired by Neil Gaiman.
Okay. Now, Neil
an
Gaiman
online
is that? Is it Wheel of Time? What has Neil Gaiman done? No, it's not
Neil
Wheel of
Gaiman.
Time. It's
American Gods, Neverwhere.
Yes, thank you.
Coraline,
Thank you. Neverwhere, American Gods. Yes, thank you.
Norse mythology.
I'm learning
he's
so
written-
much that
He's
my
written
brain's a
for
little sharp.
Doctor
shut up.
Who.
Good Omens.
He's written for Babylon 5. I mean, yeah.
He's married to
So-
Amanda Palmer.
Yeah.
Yes. No. I'm tracking now. I'm just saying there's so much going on in my brain right now. Stan says Troy's brain has too many tabs open, browser tabs open, and I'm telling you that is exactly correct, 100% correct.
So
Yeah. Go
and
ahead.
then I also do improv. So I'm with an improv troupe that does long form murder mystery dinner theater.
Tell us about your improv show at the convention.
And so this leads into the next thing. Getting back to Norwescon, I got a long thing here. We are doing an improv show for the first time here at Norwescon. It is called "They Died of Dysentery." We are using the classic educational game, the Oregon Trail, as a means of scene cues for an improv show.
I love it.
We will start off the show asking for a genre or franchise from the audience. And we will pick one and we will use that to kind of flavor our Oregon Trail show. At our dress rehearsal, it was a zombie rom-com.
I love it. But it could be anything, right? The audience
anything.
participates, and interesting. And is that going to come out? Are people going to be able to watch via Twitch?
So that's the initial broadcast
No.
is not going to be on Twitch. You have to be a member of the convention for that.
So hear that,
But again,
folks?
it's only $35 to get a whole weekend of stuff.
And it's incredible. I mean, the guests of honor alone, but the work that's gone into this. I gotta say that. So you're using Airtable, and you are really kind of. I'm not Airtable. That's organizing stuff. But Air Meet, and it's
Correct.
easy to use. Like I was shocked at how easy that I kind of popped in and was able to have a chat with Bella and Veronica, and the video options are easy to use. And then it's literally just a weekend that starts now. So get your 4-day weekend in, call in sick, and just have some digital fun this whole time. Watch all this stuff. What are some other things that people can gain access to that they'll want to get in and pay for their Norwescon, that $35?
Hundreds of hours of panel programming. We're talking special events like the burlesque show, the improv show, the masquerade. There's a sci-fi variety show that includes belly dance, drag, and some amazing performances right there. I just spent yesterday adding pre-roll and post-roll to every single video in that show. You got live MCs working on it, so it's gonna be really amazing. Lots and lots of stuff.
So
Yeah,
different things for different tastes. A lot of fun, a lot of adventurous content. And I was that Veronica? Did I interrupt you? Please go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna. I just have the list here, so I thought I'd go through what she didn't already cover. So she mentioned burlesque. We have concerts. So we have
The concert.
yes, 8 individual concerts throughout the weekend, and then one concert dance party that's called the Longest Night Concert Dance Party. The Longest Night is part of Jacqueline Carey's Kushil series. It's a holiday in that world, so we've named it after that. And it's people dress up in costumes and masks, and so we're encouraging people to do that and tag their pictures to kind of feel like they're sharing the experience. But we're also having 5 concerts within that as that dance. So we have games. So we have people running role-playing games, board games, Jackbox games. You can go into one of the booths and pull up a virtual chair at a table and play a game with someone. We of course have the masquerade, which everybody loves.
Fun.
We have movie previews that are always hosted by a couple of guys named Keith and Alan. We have the variety show, which Violet mentioned. We have 2 contests, single pattern contest and a prop contest. Those are always very interesting. And we have something called Sci-Fi B-Movie Bingo, which is a thing these 2 film nerds put together, and they play an old movie that's like in the public domain, and then they make up little cards, and they interact with the audience, and everybody fills out a little card to go with it, and it's just a goofy fun time. So, and then in addition to all of those things, I mean, there's interactions at some of those tables in the lounge, and all of the panels. There's so many, like, honestly, I mean, special events does a lot of really amazing things, but the number of hours of content that special events puts out is less than the number of hours of the rest of the programming. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so we have, I think, 20 or 25 tracks of more traditional programming, which includes things like workshops. We have one of the other execs doing a leather mask making workshop. And so you show up, and she'll show you how to mold the leather and all, and she's super excited about that.
And she's also in the masquerade. So you
Oh yes, she's also in the
multiple
masquerade.
of that one.
To quote our friend Stan in chat, Stan says, "Masquerade until you can't parade no more."
Aww.
I love it. I want that on a T-shirt.
Yeah, so there's just, and of course the Philip K. Dick Awards presentation happens on Friday, and then our streaming schedule. We do have a few things on there that are going to be open to the public, and most of them are Green Ronin stuff.
Yeah.
But
I'm going to drop some links to that in the chat for sure. But yeah, go ahead, and if you want to, do you want to talk about those real quick, or do we want to?
yeah, I'm
please do.
just opening up the window right now, so
Sure.
I can.
Well, I can speak to it just a couple real quick. One thing that while Veronica pulls that up, we have a buddy by the name of Malcolm Shepard. He's a Green Ronin developer for Modern Age. He's running. I'm not sure why in my mind, but when I see, having worked with developers in video games for a long time, it can be a bit of I'll say a chore, an opportunity for growth for some of our developers to come and sit down and hang out with people and play video games. Running a tabletop roleplay game is work. It's a lot of work, and Malcolm created this the session that he's running. He created the adventure for Norwescon.
He did, and I've been seeing his communication back and forth with the players. So one of the players is probably known to most of you, Jonesy. He's playing in all of the games that we're running over the weekend.
He is Jonesy. Jonesy as well as into the VTT stuff. So he's on the VTT team
Yes.
virtual tabletop stuff.
And he's helping the devs out with VTT stuff if they need it for their game.
One of my favorites, yeah.
Yeah, and then the other 2 players that we have, they're beloved of Green Ronin. Rick and Beverly, we love them. Green Ronin loves them. We love them. They they did the Kickstarter for Blue Rose and bought these VIP tickets and played a game that Nicole Lindrus ran at the first OrcaCon, and they're playing in that Modern Age game. That's just so love playing games.
I have yet to meet these 2. I've heard so many great things about them, but before I meet them, I think I'll nickname them Revelry.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yes, they are amazing humans, and I'm very happy to have them. So that game is happening today at 3:00 Pacific time. That's the only other thing that we're streaming today. Tomorrow we have 2 art demonstrations from what Norwescon calls Art in Action. So artists will do, like, normally this would be in the hallways of the hotel, but they're going to do demonstrations of their various types of art. So we have 2 of those happening tomorrow, one at noon and one at 1:00, and then directly being followed up by the Green Ronin Expanse run by Ian Lemke.
That's right. He's running Starcrossed, and another adventure created especially for this event.
Nice.
I'm so excited.
I know. And then that'll be until so each of those games is slotted for 4 hours. I don't know if it'll run quite that long, but we wanted to make sure we gave them plenty of time, to have their fun and have a good run on their adventure. And then at 7 o'clock that night, from 7 to 8, is the Philip K. Dick Awards ceremony, which is awesome if you're into books, and if you can, I can maybe provide a link to you, Troy, to for the nominees, so people can look at the books that are nominated if
Oh,
they'd
I'd love
like.
that. Yeah, yeah. We'll be sure to include that also just via socials. But I'm sharing links to our stuff right now, at some of the streaming stuff. But remember, if you want to check out what's going on live for Norwescon, twitch.tv/Norwescon, and you'll be able to
Yes.
check that out. But that's great.
As soon as I finish going over the rest of this schedule, which we're not doing anything on Sunday, or at least we don't have anything planned right now, but on because we'll probably all be really tired. And
Dead
but
tired.
I
I'm
will
on-
pop that in the chat to you, Troy, after I finish Saturday's schedule, which starts bright and early at 10 a.m. And that is the stream of Blue Rose being run by Steve Kenson. So that is super exciting because Steve is a wonderful guy and very engaging. So we're really excited about that, and I love Blue Rose. It's my super most favorite.
Absolutely, yeah. And so Steve is running the Rye Wolf's Woe Run, and Steve and Crystal Fraser and Steve Kenson and I do Mutants and Masterminds Monday, where I am also a disembodied voice there. But yeah, that's amazing. And that, did you say that was at 10 Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 5 Mountain? Is that right?
It's 10 a.m. Pacific.
Fantastic. We will post that as well.
And then that goes until 2, and then it from 2 to 4 we have 2 more art and action sessions, and then the last thing that we have scheduled. Oh wait, no, there's one more thing. So there's then at 4 o'clock is an actual panel called Collaborative Creation in RPGs that has our developers on it, the Green Ronin developers on there that have been running these games for us, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So we're super excited to see what they have to say about that, because it's very exciting especially in the times when we're all stuck at home and we can't get together in person, to have that collaboration both in the creation process with the developers and the writers, and with your players and stuff, and maybe even your audience, depending on how you're pushing it out. So we're really excited to hear what they have to say, and I know that they're going to kind of come with a bit of an idea, but also, they're going to engage with the Norwescon audience,
Yeah.
so that, to see what kind of things that those people that are attendees want to talk about, and then that'll get pushed out to Twitch for everybody to enjoy.
Can I
And
say
then
something
the
real quick,
final thing-
Veronica? I got it. You are, you're Green Ronin family. You're part of the fabric of what we do, which is why I presume you picked to connect with these developers. The people that'll be talking, that'll be Steve, Malcolm, and Ian, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
they are. Sitting down and talking about sort of design intention and the creative process and that collaborative thing across disciplines is one of the most fascinating, I think, pieces of tabletop role play sort of development. And it's a great group, and I really appreciate too that that's going to be available for folks to check out on stream, and that'll be live, right?
Yep.
I've got the link to that, and I've got sharing that via chat. But what a lineup! That is just a great panel.
Yeah, I'm super excited about that. And then the last thing we have on our schedule, which is not to say we might not surprise y'all with some other tidbits if Bella and their wonderful child feel
Okay,
up to
Colin
it.
told I'm doing something. Oh shit.
No. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm teasing for the potential of what could be more. But the only other thing that we have on our schedule now is that concert dance party that starts at 8:30, and we're super duper excited about that. So yeah, that's our streaming schedule that's shared with the world. But like I said, just a very small sliver of what actually is going to be happening over these 4 days. So much work has gone into this, and everybody that's worked on it, I want to thank everybody on my team, everybody on the programming team. It's just and so much extra work that we wouldn't normally do, because being in this totally new format is just, it's just been making it up as we go along. And I really think that everybody has done such a great job that I'm just overwhelmed by it.
Can we also take a moment to thank the platform team that did the research and found us Air Meet, and then did all the negotiations with them and provided feedback to them, which netted us some new features. And because Air Meet has never dealt with a fan run convention before, we were their first guinea pigs in that regards. And I would like to say they were learning as much about their platform as we were.
Yes.
But they've been pretty generous too, right? As far as like just being available to kind of do things a little outside of the box.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what it is. Some things that the platform team would, with the head of we have like our point contact, Keith. He would, we would be trying things, and we would say, hey, this thing seems weird, or hey, is there a way to do this other thing? And Keith would take that stuff to Air Meet, and sometimes Air Meet would be like, oh yeah, we were thinking about that, or other times they go, oh, we never considered that.
That's great.
And yeah, they've been pushing out updates pretty regularly, really. And they do take our feedback into consideration. And, they don't ever promise anything, of course, because they're a business. But they've been very responsive, and I appreciate that they're listening to us, especially because we're honestly not their target market. It's more for like a business technical, PowerPoint slide type stuff,
right.
not what we're using it for.
Stuff a little drier.
Yeah,
the Apples and Microsofts and Chevrolets of the world, right?
Sure.
Right.
The B2B.
Doing our live performances, we have pushed this platform so hard in so many different directions.
But it's working.
It sure is.
We've had probably at least probably about 5 test performances that Violet Bellin and I have run in kind of like invite only situations where we're trying to like figure out, oh, well, that doesn't
How
work.
not to run a show.
Yeah. Or, there's a slight lag. But that's why, as Violet, mentioned in passing at some point, that she put intro and outro slides on some of the performance videos, because there's a little bit of a lag when you try to play the video, and then, when things are transitioning, and it helps make it more polished.
Yeah.
So
I love
You
it.
get real humble real fast.
yeah.
I love it. The thing that's interesting, about digital stuff is, as Owen and I know, you just got to dive in and do the thing, and you keep doing it until it's better. The difference being that it kind of sticks around for a minute, and so you just kind of do the thing, and you do it in good faith, and produce something that is fun and accessible and all that. And I'm telling you that looking at the schedule, which we've provided a link to both on Twitter, we'll do that on Facebook as well. We'll also sum up some of the stuff that you shared outside of this, and then again, like all the things we have talked about, that's just a little tiny piece of the bigger picture, which is amazing. So here's the thing. ThursdAGE is kind of about fantasy age, and but I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot about, I have this abiding love and affection for Owen Casey Stevens. This man is you can flap him, you can try to flap him, as I said earlier, but he is literally unflappable. I want Owen, taking a look at sort of I'm trying to frame this in my mind in a way that isn't just sort of like so disruptive to your brain pan, and knowing that you just kind of you just got vaccinated and you're feeling good, by the way. This is your second one?
I'm thrilled that I'm vaccinated, and I don't care if I feel good, because
Yes.
it is not only my civic duty, but this is the route to getting to see people. So
yeah.
I had side effects from the first one. There are side effects already from this one, and fine.
Tolerable. Tolerable.
Absolutely does not in any way slow my enthusiasm for getting this done. My whole household has had their first shot. I'm the first one to get my second shot, and
that's so great.
I'm really looking forward, for example, to getting to see my mother again. Just as a random example of,
yes.
I moved back to the hometown she's in, and I've only gotten to see her once from 7 feet away.
I can't wait until Dylan can get a shot. I mean, I need a shot too, but Dylan, I just can't wait till he can get his.
Absolutely,
there's also just a sense of relief that, you know, I live with, I've got some medical risks. I live with people that do too, and so
Yeah.
for a year now, the nightmare scenario has been pretty nightmarish, and being able to reduce the chance that that would happen, even if we do everything right,
Oh, gosh. And
is
the
absolutely worth any temporary feeling like I've been mule kicked in the arm.
And we've had
I
a long
know.
time, like 4 years of a sort of from a top thinking, you know, what could actually, we can't get worse, and then it got worse, and then it was suddenly worldwide pandemic, and then, you know, it's nice to see that light at the end of the tunnel. It fills my brain with dopamine. So I'm definitely, I'm like, what is this feeling? Hope. How do you pronounce that now? I don't even know. But that's phenomenal. And then I know that Violet, you are in Seattle. Veronica, you are as well. Bella, you're where were you again? You are in
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay, so I'm curious for, you know, for at least Washington State. I think we're at now 16 and up can get vaccinated, and that's
Not yet.
not
If you
yet.
can get an appointment, that
So
starts
right now, it's 50 and over.
I think it just
Two
changed yesterday.
comorbidities. It just changed yesterday. It's 50 and older, or all ages if you have two comorbidities. Like Madame DeVille just got the text message saying that she is eligible today. Now, on April 15th, that opens to everybody.
There we go. That's great. Yeah.
So we're
but
not
like,
quite there yet. Soon.
so close.
Dear
so
goddess,
close.
I want my shot so bad it's not even funny.
Yeah. Definitely can do. I'm. You know, I will. Of course, sort of requesting and sort of making sure that everybody's cool with it. But I just want to just start hugging every single human being. You know, once I get that vaccination, just to say, I've missed you.
Consent first, then hug.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So, Bella, as far as in your area, as far as vaccination stuff go, just checking in with you because you know we love our guests. We want to. We're all family now.
We just opened up 2A/B. I was able to get vaccinated because of I have an autoimmune disease. I talk openly about it. I have psoriatic arthritis. So being a professional dancer, when your whole body cracks and pops. I also have COVID-induced asthma because my husband and I had COVID in March of last year. It was pretty bad. It was almost fatal for him. I'm okay because I'm also on like an autoimmune shot, so it kills my immune system. 2 and 2 equals 4. My kids got it. It was really weird. It was a thing. But moving forward, we got vaccinated. Our second shots next week. We are on stage 2A/B. Which means we're doing the 60 and older. I think now it's also immune compromised, which we already have, but they're slowing down where I think probably in the next week or so it's going to be open to 16 and up.
Great.
But they did just, I don't know if you guys read about it, Pfizer hasn't been approved by the FDA, but everywhere else it has. 12 to 16, they can get it.
Oh, good.
So the second, both my two youngest, 12 and 15, can get that Fauci ouchie, bring it.
The Fauci ouchie, I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, and so we're kind of right on that precipice, and I love the fact that we're talking about sort of it's almost like Norwescon is a celebration of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Like, get involved, get engaged, have some fun, remember the time, and you can say like, oh yeah, we were all digital for a minute, we were just looking into the future, and I love it. I think that is phenomenal.
Online, the other was last night. We're all getting ready because we all have our pre-con traditions. So everybody's sharing the DoubleTree cookie recipe because we would be checking into our hotel.
I love it. I love it.
And we're all ordering our food. That, like last night, I ate sushi because the first thing I do when I get in is sushi edible hot tub. It's legal here too. It's fine. Sushi edible hot tub. And that's
sushi edible hot tub.
Sushi edible hot tub.
Oh, that's not one thing. That is like an order of operations.
Yeah, a hot tub is not edible. That would
I mean, I'm not here to judge.
Order sushi, eat edible, soak in hot tub, 6-hour flight. And
then come back and eat the sushi after you're out of the hot tub because you totally spaced it out because you had the edible first.
Right.
Sushi and Law and Order. That's how that went down. I always binge watch Law and Order SVU on the hotel TV.
I was seriously, honestly, Bella, I have been wanting to have that Law and Order sound. The chung chung. I wish I had it going, but I don't. In my heart, I do.
But then, like, we have our tradition, so a lot of us are still doing that. the pre-con amp up. And I mean, yes, it is bittersweet. It's like great example. Violet is family to me. Like, we have been close friends for over 6 years. We are very close in our personal lives as well. We talk almost every day. And now it's been 2 cons plus my normal visits and her normal visits to me that we have not seen each other. So it's bittersweet that we get to do this. But yeah, there might have been crying because I miss my friend, and so it's been like that with a lot of people, but it's still in a way that we're still together and knowing that this is okay. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to fight. 2021 is the year of healing.
Yeah.
Because 2022 we can possibly pull through.
Absolutely. Yeah.
COVID be willing, right? I'm going to the East Coast this November. COVID be willing.
You better.
Again, COVID be willing. That's the thing. We should all be vaccinated by that point. We should have all this mess under control. But because COVID is a thing.
You heard her. Her butt better be on a plane in November, which means everybody wear your mask, take your shots.
Oh,
yeah, do not piss off Bella. She will cut you.
So everybody watching the stream now and into the future, this is an invite for you to then join you as well. So we will all be on a plane. We will all charter the tabletop, spectacular capade.
Should everything go right,
I'm a Jewish mother. I'm cooking for everyone.
Yeah. Should everything go right, we'll be at the Unconvention in New Jersey.
Yep. My friend Chloe DeKay started it. And I'm so excited. It's kind of like it started off originally as like a goth and alternative con, and it's kind of just turned into its own thing. And I'm really excited.
Much like this stream has kind of turned into its own thing. But honestly, we are here in service to Norwescon and celebration of the work that's gone on here, and because any opportunity we have got to help family and to be a part of things, we're there. And so really, honestly, Veronica just has to sort of sound the trumpet. I'm going to try to make a trumpet sound. Well, it sounds better than that.
I have to go to my next stream, which is for you guys in a half an hour, so I might have to hop off.
We're gonna wrap things up here, and that's the direction that we're headed right now. I want to say to Owen, check your chat for me and read the thing and just give me a yay or a nay. We started this stream a little earlier than normal, and so the people may be joining going, hey, what's this? So you were watching our hangout with Norwescon leadership, and we're talking about all the things that are going on. You're going to want to rewind a little bit so that you can hear some of the things that are going on. Check our social feeds for links to things that Green Ronin staff, our developers and folks are putting together. And you got to check out the rest of the offering. There's so much going on, and there's something to be said about the magic that happens at conventions. Tabletop roleplay conventions are largely, I'll say, undisturbed by the hand of this capitalism. Like, everyone's selling stuff and there's business going on, a lot of business going on, but what's not happening, and you kind of look at some other conventions that have turned sort of hyper corporate and very slick and very sort of marketing-y. Tabletop roleplay conventions and entertainment conventions in that vein is a place where you get to really meet people who are fans, connect with the people who create the thing you love. And even digitally, I'll say that it, while it is quite different than sitting down and hanging out and playing the games, and I won't say that I necessarily miss a convention smell, but so close, so very close. Like to the degree that I'm like, gosh, did I really hate that, or do I kind of love it, or, yeah, right, yeah, it is pungent. Yeah, but before we close out, so wanting to flap Owen is something that I particularly enjoy trying to, and we have a suggestion that I'm going to throw your way, Owen, to kind of close out. One of the things we do is a program we call a sort of a vignette we call, "Hey Owen, stat this," And what that is an opportunity for Owen to take a look at something that I've drawn, or take to create something in his mind's eye and stat it up. While I don't have a drawing, I do have a screen with at least 2 burlesque dancers. I want to say, hey, Owen, thinking about burlesque dancers, stat that.
Okay, so obviously Troy is trying to get my goat, and I am planning to turn the tables on him a little bit. So here's the first thing: burlesque dancers are people, and thus, rather than set them up as a monster, I would create burlesque dancers as options, because I don't want to suggest that a burlesque dancer is one thing, right? Burlesque is one of the things you do, but you can be a doctor, you can be a online personality, you can be anything and still want one of the things you do to be a burlesque. So I don't want to suggest that there should be a single burlesque stat block and all burlesque dancers must fit into this niche. That would not be accurate, and it would not be appropriate, honestly. So if you're looking at the Fantasy Age system, the way I would handle burlesque is probably through either a talent or a specialization or a little of each. And I'd want to look at what do we want our burlesque dancers to be able to do. So, for example, we already have a ability score for communication. And one of the talents that we have is carousing. And while carousing is specifically designed for constitution tolerance checks so that you can like drink people under the table, it is also allows you to re-roll communication-based tests and to organize celebrations. And we were just earlier talking about don't ever count out the creativity of some of these people. So I would certainly point at that. It has as prerequisites communication or constitution or being a member of the envoy class, which we're doing in our new core rulebook. So those would be obvious directions to take it, so that you could say, hey, if you have the carousing talent, you can style that as burlesque. We also have a fair number of performance style abilities. And obviously, burlesque is a form of performance, right? So we have a performance talent, and it talks about how to play an instrument, sing, act, and otherwise entertain an audience. And you have a crowd appeal stunt that you can use for cheaper. And I think if there is a better way to game mechanically describe burlesque in Fantasy Age than crowd appeal, I don't know what it is. So one of the things we want to do with this game is say we've got these fairly broad categories. Take your, in this case, with the ladies I'm currently talking to, your real lives experience, and hopefully we already have things to cover it. So I would hope that you would be able to, if what you wanted to do was do a burlesque character, to take those. Maybe you throw in some unarmed style. Maybe you want to add aristocrat or bard, or we got some other stuff, but there are options in there for what we already have in the system, where we can say we've thought about the broad category of being able to perform, the broad category of being able to carouse, the broad category of communicating, and the essence of burlesque should be able to be communicated through those things. I would hate to end up, no one would ever say, hey, Owen, make a stat block for a trombone player, and trombone players will only be able to use this one stat block, because we all know that trombone players are a range of people. And I think that same attitude and respect needs to be applied to anything kind of burlesque in particular. So that would be my response to that, would be, rather than saying I am going to make a stat block and that, especially since we tend to, for make stat blocks of things that you're going to fight, right? I'm not saying that I might not fight a burlesque dancer and probably get my butt whooped given how physical they are compared to me. I'm just saying that that's not how I would want to present things. I would present things as saying, these are people, these are professionals, they've got skills, they've got stuff they're good at that they can impress with, that they can communicate by. And that is how I would approach statting up burlesque dancers.
All right, so here's the thing. Violet, Bella, what can I have your reaction to this? To Owen stat this?
That was good.
Yeah, I appreciate that you saw that as part of who we are and not just who we are.
Right. It's like, do you want a little bit of burlesque history lesson?
I would love a burlesque history lesson. I like all forms of history, but especially the stuff that is, let's say, more esoteric than I learned in high school.
And especially if we can get the history lesson in about a minute.
I'm going to make it as fast as I can. The
I
word
gotta
burlesque,
go.
Yeah,
the word burlesque comes from the Italian word burla, which means to mock. So keep that in mind. And that burlesque as we know it now grew out of the Victorian travesties of the mid 1800s. Travesty, which is like one of my favorite words, is a joke. So it's not a tragedy. That's something different. It's a travesty. It's a joke. It's generally a dark joke. So when we say Congress is a complete travesty, nobody takes them seriously. We're saying they're a joke, not that they're a disaster. Well, they could be a disaster, and that could be funny.
Right.
But, so the travesties of the 1800s, though, they were parodies of popular culture, of operas, books, musicals, song, whatever, right? If Weird Al lived in the Victorian era, he would be creating travesties.
Right. Yeah.
And so what we had is we had this come through. You had Lydia Thompson and her British Blondes came over in the 1860s. What was supposed to be a 6-month tour turned into 6 years. I mean, they were very risque. They showed off their ankles.
Oh my
But
dear, yeah.
as we moved into the industrial age and we had competing technologies like radio and cinema and television, things had to adapt, which is where we started things where people would start getting undressed, and the development of the tease. The tease grew out of jazz as a means of a woman coming out. She was dancing. She was giving hints of what could possibly be under, but that was about it.
I'm
And then
sorry
you
to
have this-
interrupt, but
yeah.
I actually do have to go, everybody.
I know I have to go
And
too.
I'm going
So
to say on this real quick before you leave, Bella, I just want to tell everybody we failed to flap Owen and managed to create a whole new system. We'll get that burlesque adventure out here shortly. Bella, Violet, Veronica, thank you so much for joining us. Truly amazing, a wonderful group. And Owen, Casey Stevens, could we be any luckier to be able to hang out with these folks and just talk about games and burlesque? And boy, we went to some places, didn't we?
We did.
We did indeed. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your patience. We are going to depart, but get to Norwescon. Is it norwescon.com?
.org.
Org.
Yep, ORG, and get in there and check out the offerings. Click the links in our social media stuff. We will see you. You will see us next Monday with Mutants and Masterminds Monday. But of course, you can check out all of the developers at the Norwescon on the Norwescon stage on Twitch as well. Follow them. Follow their Twitter. Follow their Twitch. Give them some love because they are lovely human beings. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everyone.